goodness. Oh my goodness. Happy Friday Tea Time Ascension Talk. To Tanya and I, so much love, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on this beautiful Venus Friday here in Bluffton, South Carolina. Thank you, Tanya.
So great to have you guys here.
It's so wonderful. And it's so wonderful to have our beautiful tea. So these are the mugs that Tanya had made. I just love handmade ceramic mugs. You did such a beautiful job with them. And we're having what are we having?
Yerba mate chai tea blend.
It's so beautiful.
Perfect for a fall day since it's rainy and
it couldn't possibly be more cold.
Cold and rainy in Bluffton. It went from 80 to 45.
On this Friday before our anniversary tomorrow. So today Michael's having a day of healing session at Tanya's center, so her sacred healing room, which is right outside. So thank you so much for joining us. Hi, Demetrius.
Hello.
Say hello to Demetrius. Demetrius, what tea are you making? And those of you who are watching, welcome. Thank you so much. Let us know where you're joining us from and also what tea you're drinking as we just sit back and relax a little bit. Don't you feel like you want to, I might get the other cushion too,
yeah,
Tanya.
I'll hand it to you.
I'm so excited. Hi, Sunshine Light. Say hi to Tanya.
Hello, beautiful
Sunshine
souls.
Love. She just shares a lot of love. And
I'm subbing in for Michael today. He's doing some healing work.
I love it. Hi, Christina. Meet my sacred sister, Tanya. So much love. So Tanya and I have known each other. We're going to get into the ascension. We have a bunch of things to talk about. Today, Tanya asked, what are we going to talk about? I said, we'll see when we enter, when we pour our tea and sit here and share. And hi, Natalia. Thank you so much for joining us. So Tanya and I met 11 years ago. It was beautiful. There was a gathering of healers that this beautiful man, Ralph, had decided to put together. And so we all met each other. And I was just invited. I wasn't part of that group, but I was invited through Rachel to meet you guys. And I remember we bonded. And then I saw you right away because I was opening my center. I was relocating into Washington State. And I remember you that night at Roth when we met each other with Lisa and Lauren and Elizabeth and Rachel. I don't remember who else was there.
Yeah,
Lisa's sons were there, her former spouse and all of that. But I remember I don't know what you remember. What I remember very clearly, Tanya, was the night of my grand opening of my center in DC. I remember when you came in, it was like hundreds of people that were there. But I remembered you and I had this very strong bond with each other, like this bond. And we've journeyed so much in the last 11 years together. We've gone through so much. And but I remember it's like, wow, like this powerful, strong energy. And when I closed the following year, we did the Eco Beauty Healing Night at the Defense's office in Chevy Chase that you, Phil, took part of. And we just had to bring our energies together. Then soon after that, you moved to South Carolina. Well, you had Mateos, your beautiful son, and then moved. So we've experienced so much, including both of us going through our ascension journey of, let's just say, realigning and reliving and going through our separation and divorce and gosh, so much in between. Yeah. And then here we are. It's amazing. It's amazing. Today, before we started this, I was playing some music for Tanya and dancing some of the old school and just the space that we get to share, and we talk so deeply, so freely, so easily, so effortlessly. And most importantly, get to share it also with your son, Mateos, that we're so close with. so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
It's so nice to be able to share from your heart and your soul, and to be able to just be completely open and just release anything that's like you're holding on to, and be in a space where it's supported with love and light, and then being open to receive everything that's coming in when we're together, which is very interesting. Things are shifting like very rapidly.
I know,
the
every
last
time
24
we
hours
come
since we've been
together,
here, it's like
so like last night we were Tanya started having stomach things happening, and she's like, oh my god, it's painful, this and that, and of course we know there's just a lot of energy moving. We're just coming from 11/11 and everything that took place in 11/11, and originally we were supposed to be here for 11/11.
We're gonna have an event here.
Yeah, we were supposed to have the 11 because Michael and I had felt, okay, after everything we do in Greece and Egypt, then we'll bring the frequency here, because there was a lot around the ceremony of Magdalene to bring it here for your community, because you're also very connected to Mary Magdalene. But I feel because Egypt fell apart, but right before we left that same week, the flight to here was canceled. It was so interesting. So then that shifted around. But because tomorrow is our anniversary, me and Michael, we still had our ticket.
Yeah.
We're like,
on the way
let's
home.
just come down and let's just be together. So it worked out so perfect.
So it's been a relaxed, just hanging out 2 days.
Yeah, you got your little acupuncture yesterday.
My son Mateo, he's battled with some things in the last year. He was really sick at the beginning of the year and has a lot of fear around, especially like needles and things like that. But you can see that he wants to like break through it. So I laid down on my bed and Michael did some acupuncture all over my body, and he was laying next to me, and he was like, well, I want to try it. I'm like, okay, are you sure? He's like, yeah. So he was laying there, and then right before Michael began to put the first needle in, he started welling up with tears, and you could see the fear come up. And then the mom part of me was like, it's okay, you don't have to do it if you want to. But, Honey was at his feet, and Michael was on his other side, and he absolutely loves and adores Michael. And Honey, and he felt supported, and he's like, no, I want to do it.
It was so beautiful what he demonstrated. So we're just going to open up this space with you all and share this. Here's this. Mateos is extremely crystalline, and he's just so clear in this crystalline frequency he is in, and you can see just his supreme light. So here's this moment, we're in Tanya's bed. Michael has put the needles on Tanya, and he said, and Mateos is like, I want to do this, but yet there's this part of him he's very aware, is scared, yet he's also, what I loved, the demonstration that he brought to the three of us was that here he wasn't denying any part of him. He was fully embracing and addressing, I am scared and I am nervous, but I also want to do this. So it was like his excitement and nervousness and fear all there. And I felt that is complete, because often we deny because we don't want to embrace that part. But when we embrace it, then move through it, then it doesn't have a hold over us. So it was so beautiful. He's like, but I want, and Tanya was like, you don't have to. And I was like, Mateos, what's the worst thing that can happen? You don't want it, then you can take it out. But I felt it was so beautiful when he felt so much trust, so much love, so much support, that he moved through that window, like the window of fear.
Fear. And it happened so fast. And then it was like, boom, it all like disappeared. And he just felt this, then you could feel the energy of like,
liberation.
How proud he was and how free he was. And
he's
how amazing.
Like, put another needle.
Then he was like, and then he was telling Michael where to put like the other needles. It was amazing. It was so awesome. It was awesome to see him with everything he's been struggling a little bit this year with some things. And just to see him like push through that on his own, and to very quickly like happen in that moment, and how fast we can move through things. It doesn't have to be this long drawn out process, as long as we commit to it, and it's coming from like, we're honoring ourselves.
I feel when you support yourself with that level of love and you're held, you can really push through any of it, because you know it's an illusion, right? And I felt that's what he demonstrated, but he really demonstrated the courage in such a beautiful way. It was something for all three of us to see.
It was.
I felt that was a gift for us to visibly see that. And you as a mother, you're like, oh, because the mother wants to protect.
Yeah, the mother wants to protect me. It was a good exercise for me to just like let him experience that and like push through it. And I don't have to always protect him or do anything for him. He needs to be able to like work through those things and feel empowered enough to do it.
Right. So he can have his own authentic experience. Yeah. Okay. So it was so good. So you want to tell them what he said today? It was so cute.
So we're on the way to school and we're in the carpool line and he's like, Mom, I need to tell all my friends about this. You know, like he's wanting to empower his peers to experience acupuncture for the first time.
He's 6, by the way, or 7.
6.5, he'll be 7 in January. And I was like, well, that's awesome. I was like, he's like, well, can I tell them they can go over and do acupuncture? I'm like, well, Michael's not going to be working. They're leaving tomorrow. And he said, but Mom, he's like, next time they come, I can like start a business and we can have like Michael doing acupuncture to my friends. I'm like, I love the way you're thinking. It's so cute. But he wanted to like share it from his heart, like his experience.
Because I feel that's what it was for him to empower his other peers, like and for him to benefit from it.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting? So there's that consciousness of, well, I can, like everybody benefits.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what I love about these crystal beings. Like they're just so clear, but they're so clear they don't hold themselves back.
It was amazing. I was like, oh, it's awesome.
I know. So incredible. So thank you so much for joining. Let's see who's all here. So Demetrius, so you know, of course, Demetrius is from London and just such a sacred brother of ours. Sunshine, so much love, and you're here. Christina, love you just so much. Christina is one of our dear sisters she was a big light. She's in Maryland. Hello, Natalia. Thank you. Oh, you're from Manassas. Thank you so much for joining us. So let's see. And what tea is everyone drinking? Let's see. I just want to see.
I saw some ginger up there earlier, ginger and honey with lemon.
Okay, so, good. That's beautiful. So we love tea so much, and thank you. So let's just check in first. How's everybody? Sakura! Hi, sweetie. He's having good news. Sakura, meet Tanya.
Hello,
Galactic
beautiful
sister.
soul.
Blueberry. Charles, thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much. So, Sakura is from Slovenia. He's, sorry, I just have to say that. Natalia, you're having, what is it? Positive tea with clementine? Nice. That's delicious. So let's just check in. How is everyone doing post 11/11 Ascension Gateway? That incredible StarGate, because I do want to find out just how you're doing right now. Today's Friday. We have a few days after this, and we're moving then. And there's just been a lot of transits taking place. Then we are going to be going into 11/22. Then we go to 12/12, 12/21. So we get a few more of these very profound gateways coming up. And the last StarGate, so from 11/11 to 12/21 is 40 days. And it's a very powerful 40 days of fully aligning onto the next StarGate. So we'll talk about that just a little bit. And I really want, the purpose of this also was for this Friday Tea Time Essential Talk to really get into what Michael and I did, though he can't talk with the group, because I feel it's very important. Some of you are able to also apply that. But first, let's just find out how you are doing. What's happening in you? Like after that, were you able to participate? What did you experience? Have you been kind of like expanded, excited? Have you been more tired? Are you grounding? The integration does take a while, and really what came up for you. If you'd like to share a little bit, we'll be able to read it in just a little bit. Love to hear about that.
Best ever.
Okay.
New life beginning, a lot of letting go. I started a powerful Gerson treatment detox, and I feel like it really is starting a new project, albeit, and a lot of new project ideas.
Thank you. Thank you, Sakura. Thank you so much. Demetrius, tell me about it, because I know, Demetrius, you've been you've been holding the fort so high. I mean, deep gratitude for your level of unconditional love. Like I honestly, like I always say this, Tanya, I've never experienced somebody like Demetrius. The level of force he comes behind support, that level, like just much respect. And it was such a joy for Michael and I when we got to meet him in London, just this ancient bond and the level of, and Demetrius, I don't know if the link I sent you, if it worked or not. I trust it did. Love to hear what took place. What did you receive? So what is that?
Natalia says, I feel great and have interesting people already coming into my life with amazing opportunities.
Excellent.
I love that.
Wonderful. Thank you. Love to hear a little bit. Sunshine Live. Sunshine Love, can you tell us a little bit? I'm going to take these. By the way, I brought my house slippers. These are from Crete that I bought 2 years ago because it's so cold.
I love them.
Yeah, so let's see if we can hear a little bit more, because I want to just get into a little bit of the mechanics of what we work with on Monday that is part of the planetary ascension and the space we are in. If you hear anything else. So I'll just start it till everybody else types up. So Tanya, for us, because first, we had the gathering. Mm-hmm. So what we were going to originally facilitate here, everything shifted around as we were in Greece, because the work that we ended up doing in Greece and now going to Egypt was, we really didn't realize the level of that in which we'll be participating with the crystalline diamond lycos, particularly in Greece and all these different islands, and why this vibration frequency had to really spiral out to connect it to, north of Europe and South Africa area, and also to the Middle East and Europe and coming to the West. So we didn't realize the magnitude of it until we were in it, and that's usually the case. So having said that, then back in DC, so it made perfect sense that the 11/11, that particular specific gateway, we had to be back in Washington, DC to work with the grid of Washington, DC. And especially because the Mercury was in transit, the transit during this 5.5-hour period was through the East Coast of United States, which is so interesting because that's that, I've spoken about that particular grid line, which is the Arcadia grid line coming down. And that is one of the specific lines we were working with while we were also in Greece. So everything finally made sense. Anyway, so for us, we had a very intimate, small gathering. And about 2 months ago, I had a little bit earlier, not 2 months ago, like a month and a half before we left, I received this guidance about this golden silver ray. And usually I don't quite understand everything. I receive it before, as we get closer, then I start receiving the information. So couple of things. What was being shown after we came back, what was being shown to Michael and I, so I'll go to this. The day before it, Michael was working on me. I was having like all kinds of pains in my body, and that's usually what happens. So I went inside, and while Michael was working on me, I moved into a body of a white extraterrestrial being. It was pure white, and with these blue, lighter blue crystal eyes, and that were multifaceted. And then he projected a holograph of showing my blueprint. Then he showed this holograph of this. It was like a hexagon shape holograph that was showing the gold silver ray of light through this portal. And what I was experiencing, Michael was seeing the gold silver ray. What I was receiving was that this the gold ray is the Christ consciousness. We know this. I've been working with this golden liquid light for several years now, and it's a huge part of the third grid system that, as an activator, a transmitter on the land, doing that work on the land. Now, what was interesting that was being shown to me was we need this golden silver ray to help transmute the current financial system and to bring it into a state of harmonization, because it's been built on this human slavery for so long, especially this gold energy. This gold energy was used by the Draconians to help create the humans to utilize them for this sort of excavation of the gold and everything around the gold. So there's this energy behind it. The banking system is set up around quite a bit of this. So I don't want to get into details of that right now. I had received the silver has to come in because the silver ray that has more of a platinum color is the sacred divine feminine that harmonizes and balances. It is the sustainable ray, which is so interesting because then they were showing in this holograph, Tanya, they were showing me the flower of life. We know the flower of life has been hijacked for so long. Mm-hmm. It's not the proper proper dimensional field. And so they were showing me how when the silver comes in here, it expands it to its proper vibration. So it takes it from the way it's been fabricated to its true essence, the way it's supposed to. So of course at our gathering, I had the gold flower of light stickers for everybody, and I wanted them to bring the silver to then use this unity Christ consciousness going around Earth for us to bring the gold silver ray through ourselves, through our crystalline diamond, and direct it to the areas of the major financial system to then watch it radiate the gold silver ray, but from a place of joy and abundance, no longer the human slavery. So there was so much that was done with our group. But what we had to do, hi Valerie, thanks for joining us. What we had to do was to do our individual part and then do the group part. So just a couple more minutes, I want to talk about this. What was so important was, in my experience with Michael, what we saw within our diamond crystalline, I saw when we're this alignment of this ascension portal of light that is connected to the Helios Vistas, to our grandfather sun, then it's connected to the galactic sun, then it's connected to the central sun and also the source line. So it's pouring in. But when it's pouring in, it has to switch to be anchored in a sustainable way. So again, what we're experiencing is many of the ones who are part of the leading the ascension, they're doing it, but it's not anchored in, and it's not anchored in a grounded way, because it has to be grounded in the sacred divine feminine as that container to create the new realities. So it's all scattered all over within the etheregram, and it has to be anchored to take it into action. So that was the part we did. But what we needed to do is to really allow some sort of material to help us anchor it. So interestingly enough, this idea came to me because we have a lot of gold coins from all of our travels from all over the world. So I decided to bring them and wash them and put them at the altar, and everybody that would participate take some of these gold or silver coins, put them around them, and then to pull that frequency, that light in through this ascension portal into us, expand it to all of our fields, especially the areas that's not sustained with this crystal light, right? And then anchor it into the Earth's grid, and then directly place it over these financial systems. I can't get into more of the details because we did a lot more detailed work on that. But what was amazing was the level of liberation, Tanya, we all felt within ourselves, because we also brought it to our own banks that we're working with. And we saw them like literally giving gold and silver coins to everybody from abundance and joy, to really like for all the good that is being done. They're abundantly, they've opened it up to do the right thing for humanity. Tanya, it was so remarkable what we experienced as a group, the lifted energy, and to seeing how we can bring these two rays that are in so much harmony, sustainability, and expansion together to anchor it into the grids so that we're part of that. And then the other part, I've done your transmission already, like co-transmission. You know that crystalline diamond um, core of Gaia, the corridor. So I saw that too in gold and silver, like because it's always that golden ray. So that the center of it, the diamond, is truly radiating both rays of that. That feels so much more balanced. So in a short note, since then, it's been Michael and I have been feeling so elated. We've had so many experiences in our morning meditation of the true expansion of it and how much more it's radiating. We're already seeing the shifts within us just from that. And I really feel this was very important because we needed to open that ray inside of us so we can take directly part in the planetary ascension, Tanya. And wrapping that up, we got to see the individuals that took part opening that also within themselves. So together we all came to expand that. And I know several other circles around Earth that were working on different sort of like spectrums or if there was a rays of light, but this was very specific called to us because we were in Washington, D.C., and we knew the Capitol, especially Treasury Department and what have you, we needed to take part in having that really be lifted for all humanity. And there's deeper work that probably I can't go more of the sensitive ones. I can't get into it in here. I feel very lifted. So every morning, like even you're right here when I did the morning prayer, Tanya, I could feel like just that radiance of the gold. I don't know if you heard me singing, like just feeling it expand also through your space, through this area. And I'm feeling the lift, the true vibration, because that is what we're taking into 2020. So we can't take any of this mismatch frequencies, the split energy. Once we go through an ascension corridor like this, it is aligning us with the fullness of our true essence. And we have a couple of more ones coming up where we're going to have experience to give us the opportunity to stand grounded in that frequency. So as we move to 2020, we're moving in the divine alignment. There is no separation from the truth of that which we are. So I felt that was really the big work, and which I'm very consciously aware of. And that's what took place. I really wanted to speak to that as we get to hear what went on with everybody else. Let's see what went on, because I want to hear what happened with you, Tanya. If you'd like to share a little bit.
Sun shines in a place of letting go of old patterns and toxic releasing of people around her that's not allowing her to move forward.
Perfect.
And bringing in new energies.
Good.
James, gold and silver diamond shaped frequencies are pulsating and resonating now.
That's
when in a state of meditation.
Okay. Demetrius is that.
Okay, Demetrius. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Harmony and stability and balance.
Okay, that's right.
Grounding into Mother Earth.
Okay.
Times of Atlantis.
Yeah, it is a lot of time at Atlantis. And that's, Demetrius, I want to talk about that, because one of the things we know, we have complete cellular memory, what it was like to live in Atlantis in true abundance energy. We know exactly what the gold frequency is. We totally know that. We've lived it. That's why we know. For us, a utopia world is not a fantasy world. It's a true world. We also know that from our higher dimensional beings in our multidimensional reality in different universes and multiverses, we're already living that. There's no question. So here in this plane, like we've hit these pockets of so-called density that is not fully vibrating our true abundance frequency. And I feel like, as we had our conversation, I really feel is that we are being gifted the opportunity through universal fields to bring that aspect of ourself, which is the grand aspect of our divine beingness, which is fully abundant, to bring it into this contracted area, to expand it so it too expands into the light. It moves out of its conscious. So each of us are having, through our so-called work, our partners, our, whatever interactions, so that we can not get caught in this reality that is playing out, but tap into our higher dimensional reality, pull in from the multidimensional aspect of ourselves into this here, and to expand it, because we can, because we're capable, and frankly because we signed up for it. And that's what I remember. Like, now that I know what I remember, like, I just can't feed that other system energy.
Yeah.
So tell me, Tanya, how was, like, if, like, from your 11/11 here, and
that's
what came through for you?
Yeah, that's definitely what I experienced several weeks leading up to 11/11. There was a lot of old programming, old relationships, old belief patterns that really came to the surface. It was like a hurricane of like all the stuff that I've worked on for like years.
Yeah.
And it all, like, the last remaining fragments like boiled up to the surface, and it really forced me in an amazing way to really stand and honor myself at a heart and soul level, and that alignment that I've been in, to really stand in that strength and to really operate moving forward from that place, and really allowing myself to get into my heart space and using love and gratitude to infuse into those various areas to help me move forward. And there was a lot of heaviness and density that I was working through. But then as soon as 11/11 approached, I had a small gathering in my house with a few really good friends. And the energy started shifting about a day before. Yeah. And things started clearing out. And then after 11/11, it was almost like thousands of pounds were lifted and cleared out of me. And I definitely, like, the golden rays, or something that, I mean, I see and feel that coming in every day in my practices. And it's been super strong, this whole last few, weeks since then. But it's almost like I can see clear from a standing back perspective. There's teeny little few more fibers that need to be released, but it's like moving rapid fire, like moving in and clearing. And then
the crystalline is pretty clear. Like, you see clearly. And have you tapped into the silver at all? Did you, like, at all, has that come into your field yet? Okay. So I'll be curious to see, like, how that will be. And for those of you, thank you for sharing that. For those of you, if you are, for example, in your morning, let's say, practice, you're tuning into this great central sun, to your I am presence, and you're tapping into this golden frequency that is pouring in, like, literally pouring all the way through you, and allowing it to go all the way down to Gaia. Now, to also embrace the silver ray and watch how that will be. So on July 17, 2017, when I had the experience with Archangel Michael coming through me and talking to Michael, how to heal the bodies. So at that time, my consciousness was on the side, but what was happening inside of me was Tanya, it was amazing. It was this gold, and the gold, as it was coming in, then right in my heart, through my heart chamber, it was changing into silver, then it was going down. Yeah. At that time, I didn't know what was happening, but it was the fifth dimension. Archangel Michael was explaining, as he was talking to Michael, that's what I wasn't hearing. I was seeing it through the imagery, that the gold, as it comes in order for it to be anchored in the fifth dimensional consciousness, it has to be in silver. So in order to live from the fifth dimensional frequency, it's the silver ray that again is the word sustainability. It sustains it. Right. It anchors it. It holds it. It bounds it. And you can deliver it. So for those of us who are part of the golden age, the era where we're bringing it's not a new consciousness. It's the consciousness we already have, but we signed up to come in, reincarnate back to deliver this. But we gotta anchor it, right? And it can't just be like this. It's gotta be anchored, and that's what that is. I was like, wow. And it was interesting. Michael, when he had this meditation on the morning of 11/11, he saw like the infinity of when the gold is coming in, switching into silver, going out.
down.
So for those of you, maybe you can just allow that space to start working with you, to start working with these rays of light, because if the masters are overseers of these rays of light. So when this pour of a light is above you and you're literally invoking it and bringing it in, you're able to interact. They're able to, in the way in which your vessel through its different bodies is able to handle it. It it's not so much that it's brought in. What happens is already within you. Then it's able to interact with this frequency and expand, like each of it, like a golden sun silver ray expands through your 50 trillion cells, and you get to directly experience what that is. So I want to just open that because I really loved what you shared, Tanya, because all of us have been experiencing all these fragmented part of ourselves coming up, so we can sort of like pardon them with our life, with our love, or free them, because when we do that, we're doing that for the collective, because we're literally like erasing it out of the collective consciousness by bringing the, not the unconscious, by the higher conscious into their present consciousness that is waiting to expand. Correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So really wanted to share that. It's so funny. Like I usually have to put like a glasses on because I can't quite see, you know.
Yeah, thank you for sharing insights of the golden nuggets of wisdom with all of us.
Yes.
Demetrius said about the spinning as the yin and yang, the gold masculine and silver feminine.
Yes. So, Charles, let's see. Do we reach this by meditation? Yes, meditation. So, let's talk about meditation a little bit. Tanya, we can really open this space talking about this, because meditation of the, I am completely not into mindfulness meditation with, I feel it has had its purpose, its service purpose. I really feel heartfulness meditation is the is what's required for the planetary ascension, for the personal and planetary ascension. Because when you go through the holding the vision through the mind in the mindfulness meditation is important, but when it is not backed up or supported by the power of the heart, you are not including the soul, the spirit, the higher self, the I am presence in it. And I just can't, that just doesn't resonate with me, because when you go through the heartfulness meditation, you're hearting all of it. And from there, the mindfulness then comes out of that naturally, because then it will vibrate of the same resonancy, because it will only want to create, or the vision is for the highest good. So it's not like the singular focus energy. So when you truly drop into the heart space, and then go into the meditation, and just from just the pure joy of seeing the radiance of the light, the light rays, like the gold, silver, just have a little fun with it, sit in it, watch it float through your sacred flame in your heart. And from that innocence, the childlike experience, watch what will happen. Just like be a witness to the visualization or the feeling of it. I feel that's so important, because it's such a free space and you're not directing it. If you would like to share.
Yeah, I mean, when I lead all my meditations with my clients, with myself, one of the first things that I do, I ground them down to Gaia, but is coming into their heart space and really feeling the gratitude and love they have, whether they have to, think about somebody that they deeply, deeply love and have gratitude for, and getting into that space of feeling it, so they can really bring their consciousness and their awareness into their heart, the sacred space of their heart, actually, and trying to just visualize coming into that space and then connecting up with higher source consciousness and bringing that down into their body, into their heart space. And so this is where it all is originating from. And I work a lot with bringing the golden diamond crystallized light down into the heart space and, expanding it out from there, but going inwards, but then connecting up for, thanking our guides and higher source consciousness for everything they brought into our life with gratitude, and then asking for guidance and help. And that's one thing that Honey's helped me a lot with. And then also some of my shamanic teachers is like, well, are you asking for help? And just every day, every morning, my prayers, just being thankful and grateful for their guidance and constant support, but also asking for guidance in areas where I need guidance, and then trusting and it's showing how quickly they help us when it's from love and like, it just is like, boom, 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 boom. Like, and so it's allowing me to live from that space of love and the higher states of consciousness, so that when I get stuck in any old patterning, I quickly can shift out of it without any.
This is so beautiful because, like, you have your mental energy has been very strong in the past, and that space where it is, like when you have you not found, like, when you drop in that heart space, when you receive the guidance, you just melt into it.
Everything is just so light and flowy and just.
And when you yourself don't have resistance, right? Isn't it interesting? Because
there's no fighting or resistance in my mind, and it's just because when you're here, everything is so clear. And
but isn't it just because you've done so much meditation over the years? Like I have, it's like 20, since 19.
Mantra meditation, like almost 30 years breath meditation,
Don't you find it's so different when you drop in the space, like you just melt, and there's not so much of this, because some of it you still resist. There's a lot of resistance, right? And there's no like power struggle.
No resistance, no power struggle, no.
So I feel like this is the one thing Tanya and I really feel, because we've talked about this. So like, for example, like we feel to each his own. Like, thank you so much, Charles, for asking. I feel completely, I have so much respect for all the paths that are on earth that are here for humanity's ascension. And you must know yourself. You may be somebody that may need to go to Vipassana. You might be somebody that may need to, for example, go to Burning Man to have your experience. You might be somebody that actually needs to have overdose to have your awakening. You might be somebody that needs all the plant medicines. You may be somebody that is absolutely none of that. Just your art will do it. Whatever it is, there is a respect for it. And I feel what is very important is to know yourself. If you know yourself, what is totally in alignment with you, then just honor it. Focus on that. Like for me, Burning Man, plant medicine, all this, it's just not right for me because I know myself. I have a lot of respect for them, but I know on the personal ascension, I've been able to experience that direct experience within. And to me, there's nothing more rich. I don't care to experience these outer stimuli into my system to know what I already know, to what that I've already tasted, experienced. So I'm only focused on building from that which I've had a direct experience with, and sharing its good and blessings with everyone. And I totally do respect others. They are where they are. But my focus is not on whoever else is doing what. My focus is on being true to myself and only honoring that. I don't know about you, Tanya.
I have clients that ask me all the time to tell them things or to guide them and to give them experiences. But, all my teachers have always been about going inwards and having the inner experiences yourself. To be completely honest with you, if I didn't have all the inner experiences that I've had with Jesus, Mary Magdalene, my guides, I wouldn't truly know if I would believe in it. Because it's through my own direct experience and allowing myself through my meditations and also through my shamanic journey to have these direct experiences with spirit, with divine source, with God. all of these things. And they're quite vivid and intense. And for me, I'm a more of a feeling sensory type person. And when I can feel the energetic infusion of it into my body, like that's all I need. Like it's the vibration of it feels so good. And so for me, anytime that I numb what I can feel through anything, whether it be alcohol or whatever, it makes me feel like my vibration gets lower and my experiences, even tactily of touching somebody, is lessened. And I think that's so beautiful. And I really want to work from a place of empowerment. Like, I don't like when power is taken away from me. And I like to have that direct experience, to know in my heart and soul that I can stand strong in my belief because I had that experience. And I want my clients to have that same experience, and my friends to have that same experience, where they can go into a deep state of meditation through using sound and other ways to get into a place where they can go deep. Go really deep.
Thank you for that. I wanted to open this space of communicating about that, because again, so we have a couple of months left before 2020, and we each have still these few areas that are being brought into our experience to be lifted, right? And I, like with Michael and I, Tanya, we're really dedicated in the purest. What brings joy to us is the purest frequency. So that's why, like, you've attended our event before. It's pretty strict, like 48 hours before, no stimuli, no drugs, no alcohol, no this, no this, no this, no this, no, like, no Campbell, no plant medicine, no, like, all of these things. And it's not that we disrespect them at all. No, on the contract, we have respect, because they all have their placement. For us, the frequency that we're working with, we're creating a space, a very safe, sacred space, where these higher dimensional frequencies are fully available to everyone. And it's an invitation for you to be touched by it through yourself, without the outside influence, through what divine has already gifted you, what you already been created from. You're already being created from the fullness of all of it. So that's why it's like so clear. You definitely don't need it on the outside. Like, let's just breathe together. Come here. Have your own freaking glorious, delicious, dazzling, psychedelic inside experience that by far is surpasses anything else on the outside you take. And trust that you're all of it. So we create that space.
But you know what I think people get hung up on is that if you're not getting like these intense visuals or images, like Honey gets a lot of those images. I sometimes do, but a lot of times I don't. It's more feelings, sensing and feeling. And I will get intense visions sometimes, but it's not all the time, and that's okay. But knowing that the more committed you are and the more consistent you are, more and more and more opens up. And it's like that natural tendency. Everyone's like, Tanya, give me the magic drink. And I'm like, there's no magic drink. And it's like the discipline and the practice. And also, but that's a part of self-love, is honoring myself, to give myself that time to make that connection every day with divine source consciousness, God consciousness, and to bring in that energy into my body every day. And when I'm consistent with it, every second of the day is more infused with that energy.
What you're saying, see, the thing is, again, like, we're moving from that. So you may not get the visual like that, but you're getting the full spectrum of the sentient, the feeling, which by far you're experiencing that literally inside all of your bodies. So the enrichment is so rich, and from that place itself, there's a window of seeing that you may see, may not see, because it's independent of that. The more important thing is that you get to feel it, because you may see things, but if you can't feel it, you're not going to be able to bring it. You
have to integrate it into all the bodies so that you can integrate it and anchor it down into the earth. And
exactly. So I feel that time has come where we're leaking our energetic field by you talked about giving the power away, where that power. Okay, and let's speak to this, because it's a little bit of a tricky thing. So, for example, I'm a full-time healer. You're a full-time healer. Michael is a full-time healer. We are there to support those who are going through, let's say, from one door to another door. Okay, but you will not come to me consistently every week. Out of that, that's not how I don't. So you come to me one time and off you take off, go, because I recognize, okay, for the split moment in time dimensional reality, I'm serving the soul agreement to come to support you so you can move from this state of consciousness to the next level of consciousness. That's it. That's it. So, and I feel some of these so-called, like, let's say, plant medicines or other modalities, everything else, they play their role. There is a part that, okay, when it is guided, okay, it rolls, it has its purpose, it expands open, off you go. The issue is when you constantly feel you need that in order for you to access, that is a major disempowering state. And I feel, I don't know about you, Tanya, like I feel like anybody that wants to like try to seek me more again, it's like, no. Like for me, then I'm not serving properly. That's my position, because I know where I'm positioned. You have to do your part because you're that important. You have it into, and you have to be willing, So I give the power. Here we go, direct back to you. You're not going to give that power to me because you will disservice me, disservice the collective frequency. So I don't know about you, Tanya, but that's why I feel like these things have their, even if somebody wants to go, they've never had the opportunity to be their crazy self, go to Burning Man, get it out of your system, experience all of that. But if you feel you need to go all the time because to find yourself, that I feel is you leaking it. It's not a judgment. I just feel I can see that's like leaking your frequency field. I don't know if you want to share anything from your perspective on that.
So when I work with people on many different levels, I work a lot with people physically, getting them to open up tightness in their body that's causing pain, but also I work with people in doing sacred soul guidance, helping them to get more in touch with living from themselves at a heart and soul level, which I'm really passionate about. And I do that with my clients when I'm working on their physical bodies. When I am working on their physical bodies, it's important for me to get people to realize that, yes, this tightness that's causing my neck pain, there's a part of it that's physical, but there's an even more part of it that's attached to your spiritual journey and your emotional body.
So that becomes the education.
So education and getting them to go inwards and dialogue with their body and ask their body, what are they holding on to? Maybe it's an old belief pattern that doesn't serve them. So I'm going through the physical body to get to their emotion and their soul journey to get them to see what it is that's manifesting physically. So there's like a tactile thing. And then we go inwards and we go deeper. And I tell people we can go as deep as you want and heal as much as your soul as you want, or it can be very physical, and I'm just helping you get better physically. So usually when I help people get better physically, they feel amazing. They're like, oh, I'll see you later. And the clients that really want to go deep and do the soul work come and we start digging and going through the layers so that they can come from a point and giving them tools and exercises to do so that they can start really living from their inside. And I'm not going to sit here and tell, honey, this is from the trauma you experienced when you were 3 years old. Regardless of whether or not I know that, feel that, sense that, she needs to go inside of her body and feel what's trapped in there. And so really supporting the healing space so people can do that. And then how much more empowering is that for them to feel that, to let it go, to go through all the emotions that are stuck in their body, and then to start going deeper. Well, how can I heal myself on a soul level to live my life more authentically and remove all these layers of density, whether it be from things we've experienced or old belief patterns that are running in our body, brain, all that stuff.
And but isn't it also true, Tanya, like I've known you for years, the more you have taken that journey inside of it, because you started as a personal trainer.
I was a personal trainer.
Exactly. And the more you took that journey of going so deep inside, how much the level of that in which your service to has completely shifted, right? Like the more you gave that power to yourself, the more you're utilizing your healing space so that individuals tap into that power. And so they're not like dependent on you at all, but they're able to, like, you're serving in that space that you called, because you're very clear with who you are and what your service to.
It's always interesting because as I go through things, I'm recently going through the last few years, separation and divorce, and standing strong in my truth and my strength and honoring myself. How many clients have come to me who are going through the same similar things, and they don't even know what I'm going through because I don't share that with anybody but my few dear close friends. And to see these clients show up going through the same thing, and how I'm able to use my own experiences and standing in my strength to really help hold space for them, to really honor themselves and to move through their part of their healing journey. So I think it's quite beautiful. Like, you know, that's why the more I heal myself and work on myself, the more I'm opening up space to help other people. And it's, and that's our responsibility. All of us is to honor ourselves, to hold it, like Connie was saying, hold the container tight, to vibrationally allow ourselves to be uplifted and living from that place of love, so that we just, I tell my healing friends all the time, just the mere fact of our presence, of going out and we're in public, people don't even know what's happening to them. They're feeling that energetically, and they are getting healing.
That's right.
Just from us holding that vibration and standing in our truth.
It is the vibration that's been transformed. It's already been an ascended state. What does this ascended state mean? So we have the ascended beings who ascended, but it's the full range of experience. We're being given the opportunity to go through our ascension. So what does that mean? We don't have to go out of our body into the, but it's like at the next level to bring that ascended state of beingness and still be informed here. So it is so incredible what we've agreed to deliver this golden age in a sustainable way, because then we won't repeat what we did in Atlantis to abuse the power and what have you. So that's how it ties into it. And all of it has to do, each of us doing our part in supporting first ourselves in being true, authentic, sustained, and anchored in our own divinity, and give the power back to ourselves where it's leaking. So that's what we're talking about, like no bullshitting ourselves, like not a, like a very clear facing ourselves, and then reflecting that. And I feel, Tanya, this ties into, for example, I remember when the 5 years that I was doing the QHHT, the quantum hypnosis therapy, and taking individuals in their past lives. So majority, just about 90% of the clients that came to me for their past life, and of course calling up their higher self, just about 90% all had sexual abuse. So of course, you know, I have had that sexual abuse. So that was part of me also, you know, the stuff that I had been facing. And so it's part of that collective energy, like we're talking about, for all of us to help transcend that. And that's why, like, when we are in our ascension journey, there's an area that we're focused in. And as we evolve, that area then shifts. Then there's a next level of healing we bring through, and the next level healing we bring it through. Because once that frequency has healed, evolved, transmuted, transcended, then the next level then is brought in, then the next level. So that's why our practice is always shifting and evolving. It's not like stationary at all. But we also know people who just focus on one, they refuse to evolve it any further. Right. And that's okay too. But I feel those of us who are more of the more celestial, cosmic, galactic realm, we can't. It has to evolve, because we're evolving that fast, right? But if we're evolving in the vibrational alignment of the fullness of that which we are. Yeah.
Oh, I love that statement.
You like it? It's delicious.
It was really delicious.
That came from the crystalline diamond.
I love delicious. That's my favorite thing ever.
It blasted from the crystalline diamond.
I felt it. I was like, oh, that was a good one.
It's feeling a little bit colder. By the way, can I please show you what I brought down?
Her little heater.
I am so proud
in
of
the South, I mean, houses are built well, but I swear they don't put in as much insulation in as they should, because you can just feel the cold air. I have a lot of windows in my house and doors, and it's just like the cold air just like kind of comes in.
I mean, it is so cold. Like, let me just show you for a second. Look, it's gray, rainy, and cold here. Tanya's like, we've never had this much cold since you came. So listen, because Washington, D.C. was also very cold, so I found the best of the best little tiny heater. Look how light it is. Put it in my purse, brought it, one button. This baby, and did I tell you when I searched it, is the most economically efficient, low electricity use.
Oh, awesome. Love
I
that.
know. But
She fit that in her carry-on with all her other stuff.
I know how fast it heats the space up. So I'm going to put it on real quick. For those of you, if you want, I can put the link. I bought it on Amazon. I did a lot of research. I'm so proud of it. Michael was like, are you serious? You bringing this? I said, yes, it fits in my purse.
Well, she didn't have to bring her cacao nibs and other things that she absolutely has to have every day because I already have all those things for her. So it freed up space for her to bring her little space here.
Look at that. Look at that. Look, Tanya, we're going to have heat right now because it's getting cold. Look. And it's relatively cool. By the way, I'm so proud of it because you know how when you find good stuff, you just want to share it.
You want to tell everybody about it?
Yeah. So it has 3 buttons. It has, look, Tanya, just tonight. That's the heat. Then it has the cool air.
Oh, maybe I do need to get one because I like.
And then it also has the fan, just plain fan.
Oh, I love that.
It's so fantastic. I love when inventions are like this, just so put together. So, and you know what it was? It was only like $24.
That's awesome. Even more awesome.
Or something like that. So
sunny in Vegas. Never been to Vegas. Not sure if I'll ever make it there though.
Sunshine.
Love is in Vegas.
Of course. You positioned it to blast some of that energy.
Superlicious.
Totally. I like that one too. What did Valerie say?
One of my good friends says, give me a cosmic latte of deliciousness.
Ooh, I love that.
She's amazing, my friend, Lori.
Pouring cosmic latte
of deliciousness. She's like, you're such a cosmic latte of deliciousness. I'm like, so are you. You're so cosmic
delicious.
Latte of deliciousness.
Pouring. And talk about drinking. You can literally drink this liquid. Like there's a post I posted yesterday where you can see the river of this golden liquid, like, and that's why I sit in my morning prayer so much because I'm like, and I like just
feeling it coming in
because so being a galactic being, working with light stream, working with literally like to deliver this, there are 3 things that are really required. You're working directly with the vibration of love because everything in all creation has been created from the molecules and atoms of love. Then sound. So that's why it's so important. Like I really feel like when you're doing your meditation, it doesn't have to be quiet. Sing it a little. Bring some sound to it, like
tones.
But from the joy.
Yeah.
Not because I gotta just make another sound. Like no, like just get into it. And then the other part of it is really light because we're light being, literally interact with these lights. So I feel like one of the things that I really drink every day, like I feel like I just drink this golden liquid light in me. And now from Monday it's been like silver,
silver and
bring
gold.
it in, like pour it in, shower myself with it. It's like this golden shower. It feels so delicious.
I do the same thing.
Yeah.
And I especially love, it's typically sunny here in the South. And on my back porch is where I do a lot of my meditation. And the sun rises right there. So like as it's rising, like I just like feel it too, like pulling the energy of the sun. I love that too.
It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
Because we are sun beings, beings of light. So let's see, rain and cooler weather here for Valerie. Seriously, it's cold in Florida? Really?
Cold.
So
No, listen. Cold for Floridians is like 70. Am I right?
Valerie, is this like seriously like 70 or?
So like my sister lives in Fort Lauderdale, and the weather people will be like, "Cold front's coming through. It's gonna be 75 today."
Valerie.
Like, no, I'm serious. Let's see what Valerie says.
What is
that true? I know it's true.
Of course. Oh,
55 is cold. So it's 55 in Florida right now.
Actually, that is kind
of cold for Florida.
Yeah, that is kind of cold.
Surprising.
No, that's cool. That's legitimate.
It's about 55 here too. Yeah. So we're about on the same.
Valerie, by the way, Michael and I are going to be in Florida, in Miami, December 11th.
Awesome.
I hope we get to see you. I don't know if that's possible. Hopefully, Demetrius, tell me, it's sunny. You bring that sun in London, darling. Tell me about it. Minus 21 degrees.
Where are you?
Are you in Alaska?
I don't even want to experience that. I don't think ever in my life. I don't think I could.
I have experienced. I have experienced -8. That's it. That's the limit. I'm not going in. Where is that?
Montreal.
Oh.
Hey, we'll come in the summer.
No.
Holy moly! Can you even go outside when it's that cold?
What?
Like, does the heat? Like, does your house even like? How do the windows not crack?
It?
I don't even know like how that works.
It's sunny in London. Seriously, Demetrius, how warm? But cold.
70 degrees.
7 Celsius.
Oh, it's cold.
That's good. Or at least it's sunny. That's good. Oh yeah, the Valerie's like, I'll stop complaining. No kidding. That's like, we get -30. Like, honestly, seriously, much respect. We visualize you in a golden beam of sunlight, like in a dome of sunlight.
Winterized fireplace and electric heat.
So we just winter. Michael is so cute. So Michael, this week we watched a bunch of. God bless YouTube. Can I just say how much I love YouTube? YouTube, I love you. Thank you so much for whatever you need. You can look at YouTube. So winterizing our windows, because our bedroom is super cold. It's so old, the windows. So Michael, we usually have 3 blankets, and no, Michael sleeps with like 2 long sleeves, and no, this is no joke.
Wow.
And he puts this on his face.
Are you serious?
No, I'm telling you, this is no joke. So, it's cold. So he decided, he's like, okay, we're finally winterizing because they're not going to replace our windows. No problem. So we found that there's this plastic you can get $6 from Home Depot. And it was so easy to put it, and you use a hair dryer and it seals it. Tanya, it was amazing how much it blocked.
That's awesome. So he takes some of the layers off?
Yeah.
So sleep a little bit like
because
naked.
We got that plush. No, he doesn't. I sleep naked.
I can't see him have clothes on when I sleep.
Yeah, I sleep naked, but but it's been too cold. Like, I haven't been able to. But he has to, because he's always like, God forbid there's some draft somewhere. We've been 3 years. Tomorrow's 3 years together. So we've been trying to discover where is this draft coming, because he's so sensitive to a draft and how much it covers it. It's the funniest thing. No. So, but we winterized our bedroom window finally. And God bless for these inventions that were so sweet, just so simple. Put it on the window, the air doesn't come in anymore. So what are we getting from here?
My mom stays under her electric blanket, right on Michael. Yeah, Michael, he's used to tropical weather.
Yeah, I know.
Wear socks to bed.
You know what he keeps saying? He says he's better now. He's like, you'll never understand. I lived 10 years in Mexico. My blood is thin. I was like,
it's true. Your blood. People used to tell me that your blood does thin, because now like
how long?
I've been here like 6.5 years, and like probably year 4, my blood was like, you seriously, you change. Like the cold is just so much colder.
Every 7 years you do change anyway. Your whole new person.
Yeah. And the sun, like the heat that is not as bad as like it would feel for her if she was here. I mean, it's still unbearable at times when in the summer, but it's still like you get used to it.
So amazing. So anyway, so having said all of that, so tomorrow is me and Michael's anniversary. So funny. This morning I was telling him, I was like, Michael, what were you doing 2 years ago today, the day before we met? Like, where was he? Where was I? It was so funny. We'll probably maybe we do a little live stream tomorrow. It's kind of precious.
I heard a version of it last night.
Yeah.
He was telling when they met, right before they met.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so funny. We still go through that. And, but it's precious. I feel like we've grown so much, like in these 3 years. It's so funny. So this morning I showed him a picture of, do you remember this picture? This was the week after we met. We were like complete. I was like, you didn't have the delicious long hair, Mike. He knows how much I love long hair. And so we'll do a little video tomorrow to share. Yeah. But having said this, we're getting ready for next week, not next week, the 11/22. So just for a second, we have 11/22, 12/12. Michael and I will be in Miami for 12/12. Then we have 12/21. 12/21, I have the last light code transmission activation group event. And this month of November and December are the private transmissions. So this is the activation of the crystalline diamond light body to help individuals move into 2020 with this alignment. My private sessions are completely booked, but reach out. I may have a cancellation. But this one, the group one, we had it also at Tanya's here back in April. And so if those of you who cannot attend in person, it will be done in Washington, D.C. I do have the video recording. It is a 3.5 hours of the full education and then the activation at the end. So it's extremely powerful for you to be anchored in this and move into it. If it feels called to you, please email me, the honeybee at honeybee1111@gmail.com. so that you can just move into this alignment together. So you're ready to be to just take on through your crystalline diamond light body. And I know when you experienced it first, in a private session, you did a group, like
private and the group this past year. And I will say that once I did both of those, and I can even speak on behalf of some of my clients and friends that experienced the group here, things shifted so rapidly and fast. Everything became so clear. And
it's the crystalline diamond.
There's like this alignment that happens that is it just is so strong and clear. And I'm able to operate from a deeper, more connected place of clarity. Yeah. And I don't feel bad about being clear with people. Yeah. It's like,
no, it's freedom.
It's so freeing because it's like, the liberation of just being like very clear and being able to fully express the clarity. Yeah. And I love that the crystalline diamond, like just visualizing that. And I can feel when it's not clear, like with myself, or when I'm letting it get cloudy, and then I can quickly like clear it. And it's amazing.
And I feel that was the thing, give the power back to the people. Yeah. That's why there's this one-time service here, activate it, off you go. And that's what I've experienced with all those people that have also shared their testimony, like what, just giving permission of what that was. So that's coming up. If you feel called, I have the recording when we were here at Tanya's, the other places, and what it is, all the ones that are activating this, you're the carriers of the pure crystalline diamond frequency on the planet. So it's such a ginormous part of the planetary ascension. That's why I had to wait 5 years so I can fully hone it in myself before I can deliver it and be of service. So if you feel called, I'm asked not to serve it at all in 2020. So then I don't know what I'll be doing, but that's where it goes to. So just wanted to share that with you. New Year's Eve, Tanya, I wish you could come up. We have our big New Year's Eve event at Rise Wellbeing Center. That's an in-person experience because we're all taking our part to go into 2020. And it's at the same place where we started New Year's Day last year.
Awesome.
It's going to be amazing. And we're hoping you come up. That's
in
January in DC to do a day of healing at our place. So we'll announce that as well. And so that's what's going on with us. We're so grateful that you get a chance to be with us today and share with Tanya.
Yeah, this is fun. Awesome.
It's so
amazing.
Beautiful.
I need to do more of these.
You need to do more of this. And please connect with Tanya too. So she is going to be offering more of her beautiful services, particularly through video. And it's going to be easier, so that way that also expands the work, the great service that you offer. So I'll put Tanya's link on the bottom of this. And also you get a chance to meet one of my very, very dear, dear, dear sacred family. It's such a joy.
Yeah.
Such a joy being together. So we're going to be having a little dance party after this when her son comes back.
School. He's super excited.
So with me, Michael, and together the four of us putting the music on, the lights, it's going to be great. And there is a card that Tanya has brought out. This is from the Oracle cards, Working with Your Light.
Rebecca Campbell, love these cards.
So if we can just have you come into your beautiful heart space, let us take some beautiful in-breath in. Let us breathe in the gold. Breathe out the silver. Breathing the dazzling gold into you. And breathe out the silver golden light, the silver light. One more time. And let us stay in that golden silver energy around us as Tanya will read this beautiful message from this Oracle deck of light. Yes.
Anna, grandmother of
Ooh.
Jesus with the golden halo.
Yeah.
Anna, grandmother of Jesus, was an ancient mystic who dedicated her life to laying the foundations for Christ's consciousness to be woven all throughout all of life. She is not widely known, but without her, Christ's consciousness would not be rising as it is today. Anna represents the quiet dedication that is sometimes required to live a life of service. She represents the generations that came before and that devoted their lives to dreaming a new world into being while knowing that they could not see the glorious end result. She represents the dutiful soldier, the unconditional mother, and the mystic who can see the thread that is woven through all of life. Anna teaches us that we all have a part to play in the divine plan. It doesn't have to be on the world stage to be significant. One person's part is not worthier than another. One person's part may be to mother their children. Another's may be to gather women in a circle each month. No part is better or worse, more important or less significant. With each of us, we have within us the seed of light that we can incarnate to share. Anna is gathering us all to remember and surrender our part to the plan. Working our light activation, we call this prayer. Beloved Anna, thank you for laying the foundation of the divine plan. May the seeds of light within me be revealed, and may I surrender to my part of the divine plan.
Wow, delicious.
That's really good. Wow. I was getting chills, intense chills the entire time I was reading that. Energy was. Whew. Let us breathe that in. Wow, that was a perfect closure. So good from the Pleiadians. So amazing. I just saw the spiraling gold and silver wrapping around through this gift of grandmother Anna. So perfect. Thank you so much, beautiful family of light, joining us today. May you fully be so blessed on this Venus Friday. So amazing. I'm still experiencing it. Thank you so much for all you shared.
And continue to share, continue to serve, continue to be. Thank you, Tanya, for our beautiful
Thanks for having
Friday
me.
tea
Yeah,
time.
that's awesome.
And may you have the most magical weekend, and continue to just allow this gold and silver ray to work with you and share what happens. And this video will be up in just a few minutes, so you can feel free to share it through YouTube if it served you. And that's the power of sharing. When you share it, you open it more in you and others. So thank you so much. Have a magical, magical, blessed day.
Delicious day too.
Deliciousness. Aho namaste. En lakesh. Banura ish. Hash hash. Bye everyone. Aww.